Hello, my beautiful, courageous women. Welcome to another episode on the channel. I'm so happy and I'm so excited that you're here. Thank you so much for being here and joining me on the conversation. Today's topic of conversation is all about vulnerability and why it is your absolute superpower. Now, I know what you might be thinking, like, Wendy, how is it possible that being vulnerable is a superpower when people who are vulnerable are usually emotional? And they're always losing control, and they're just not in control. Like, they are super reckless, super emotional. Like, I don't see how being vulnerable equals to a superpower. And now that's a fair point, but here's a clear distinction that I want to make. The clear distinction that I want to make is, when I'm referring to being vulnerable, what I'm talking about is being connected to your emotions. Being connected to your emotions and really experiencing life as it is. Because when you're connected to your emotions, you get to just experience life. Whereas when you are emotional, that means you react to everything and anything, and you let your emotions completely run your life. So there's a clear distinction. Now, what a lot of people believe is that when you're vulnerable and you're emotional, that means you're out of control, and because you're out of control, you're weak. Now, here's what I want to bring to the table. Somebody once told me, Wendy, when you are trying to control, when you are trying to be in control, the more you try, the less you have. So really think about this. Like, have you ever been in a situation where you try to have complete control of what's going on, and the more control you try to have, the less control you have? Like, it was more far away from you. So, like, really think about it. When you've been trying to control your emotions, you've been pushing them away. So the more you push them away, the less connected you are to them. So the less connected you are to them, the less connected you are to yourself and to others. And so, because it is our truth, and our truth is always right, and because we are right, then if it's our truth, then so it must be so that it is somebody else's truth. So if someone else is vulnerable, then that makes them weak. All that we experience is always just our own perception. We're always projecting ourselves onto others. So the way we experience life is the way we experience ourselves. And now, when you're vulnerable, you're connected to your emotions. And because you are connected to your emotions, you are able to experience life in such a way where everything around you is always connected to you. You're always connecting to your environment, to your friends, to your family. You're just in connection, and you're just in flow, and you're just in so much joy. Like, isn't that amazing? Like, you're just in so much joy. And the beautiful thing about when you're connected to your emotions, you can always respond to anything. So what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is that, say, for example, you get sad. When you're connected to your sadness, you're like, okay, what is it in this moment that I need? I just need some love. I just need some care. And that's okay. Like, I get to ask for that kind of support. When you're angry, you get to really ask yourself, okay, I'm feeling angry. Where is this anger coming from? And why am I feeling this way? Like, what's missing? And you get to explore that. Versus when you're emotional and you're sad, you're going downwards in a downward spiral. And it is hard to come out of that downward spiral. It's really hard. And when you're angry, I mean, you are angry. Like, if somebody cuts you off on the freeway, it's like, how freaking dare you cut me off? Like, I'm gonna prove to you that I am faster than you. I'm gonna just, like, go one car ahead of you, and just you'll see my superpower. And also, like, if somebody, like, talks bad to you, like, it's like, well, how dare they talk back to me? Like, excuse me? Like, I need to prove my alphaness right now. And you're reacting rather than responding. And when you're connected, it's a whole different ball game, because you get to see, like, whenever you're experiencing things, you get to really ask and inquire within. And also, since you get to be responsive, you get to understand and see it in others, that when they are having a breakdown within their emotions, all that they need is just somebody to hold space for them. And you're able to see other people to their highest potential, to their highest self. Like you're less in judgment, and you're more in being empathetic, and being towards others, and being kind towards others, because you get it. And you also understand that they're just being a human, and then you understand that about yourself. Like, hey, it's totally normal for me to experience these emotions, because I'm a human being, and I get to be in this very moment. Like, I get to just experience life. So you're taking it all in, and you're learning how to navigate, and you're learning so much about yourself, that since you really know yourself and you're really experiencing yourself, you're able to just experience everything around you. And that is so beautiful. And if you ask me, that is an absolute superpower, because how many people can you say are connected to their emotions, right? How many people are vulnerable? There's so many people just not being vulnerable, and really distant, and not connected, and everything that everybody craves is just connection, but they're so afraid to be vulnerable. And I think once you really understand what vulnerability is, you really get to see how powerful it is. I've seen people that have never in their life been vulnerable, and then they transformed once they accessed their vulnerability. And the way that they blossom was freaking amazing to watch. Like, wow. I actually experienced someone recently go through a transformation where this person was not going to be vulnerable. Like, she was not crying. Like she was not showing any type of emotion, like, at all. And then all of a sudden, like, she experienced this transformation of, like, really opening up her heart. And the way that she just thrived blew my mind away. I was like, man, you were already powerful, but, like, check you out now. Like, you're freaking amazing. So yeah, in essence, that did solidify, like, how much of a superpower being vulnerable is. Now, what I want to do is I want to invite you to, like, start being vulnerable. If you have a hard time being vulnerable, I want you to explore what being vulnerable looks like. Like, just pay attention. Just pay attention to your emotions. Do not react. I just want you to pay attention. And really, really, what I want to leave you with is that don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of your emotions. And if you ever are feeling like, I need help, reach out and support other people. Trust me, there is a lot of people who want to help, and a lot of people who want to just connect. Like, that's what we get to do when we're vulnerable. And connection is magic. Now, I want to thank you guys for joining me in this topic of conversation, and I'm excited for our next topic of conversation. All right, lovely ladies, I will catch you guys soon. I'll see you guys later. Bye.